Hi, and welcome back to Everything Lynn. I'm Lynn. On this platform, we discuss trending topics, and sometimes I give personal advice based off of my own life experiences. You saw the title, let's get right into the topic. So this is a post that I found off of Reddit, and he's asking for people's advice. High number of sexual partners. What do I do? So I have probably had about 80 to 100 sexual partners. How do I be honest with people I'm dating without turning them off? I want to be honest. I'm also at a point in my life I want a relationship. Any advice is appreciated. He added that he's a male for the record. So if you're not new to social media, you might see certain reels or TikTok videos where somebody will be asking random people, hey, what's your body count? It seems like a pretty playful question, but one thought that always seems to come to my mind is, why does this matter? Now, the poster is asking for advice because they want a relationship. All I can think is, if I were on a date and I were asked this question by a potential suitor, my thoughts would be immediately no. Immediately no. I'd probably want to walk up and get up and walk away from the table. My reaction would be this way because I truly think questions like that are my and my doctor's business. At the age of 30 something right now, I'm not going to tell you guys, at the age of, in my 30s, I know enough to know that this question is coming from a place of insecurity, or they are trying to judge my worthiness based off of an assumption that they're going to make based off of my answer. No matter what the answer is, they're going to make an unfair assumption. If the number is too low, I'm a prude or a liar. And if the number is too high, well, then I'm a pass around. The funny thing about this is, never mind their number, right? They're not thinking about that. It's just judgment day for you. There was a contestant on a show on Netflix. I believe the show is called Dated and Related. And the contestant, I think his name was Chris. Anyway, the first episode, they had an opening game, like a icebreaker game that went on. So they asked this gentleman, knowing his number, I think the producers did this on purpose, but they knew his number was high. The question that he was asked was, what's your body count, basically? Well, his number was on the high end. It was 85, I believe. Man, when I tell you, the air was sucked in that room, everybody was just so unimpressed with that number. And for that to be the first impression, you could see on the women's faces, they were all looking around 85. Ooh. One of the girl contestants even went like this in the background of him. So what that tells me is and never mind their numbers, right? Because they're all on a dating show. And people could judge them based off of that. People don't know their skeletons, right? But the point is, with that question, and he gave that answer, they it was just free range for judgment, and none of the girls were into him after that. Nobody took him seriously. I don't like to think of myself as a judgmental person. I'd say more so that I'm understanding of people than I am judgmental. But we're human, we all judge, and we all judge to a degree unfairly. I could say honestly right now, some of the first things I thought was, Petri dish, I would not want to kiss that guy. I don't want to become number 86, if I were one of the contestants, or I'd be just looking at him he must not have discernment. He must not have standards. He must not think highly of himself. And these are just things that popped in my head simultaneously as I heard that number. So you can imagine you're trying to talk to a person who you want them to take you seriously, and you rattle off a number, and these are the things that are immediately coming to their head, whether they'd like it or not, whether it's unfair or not. It just happens. And it's very unfair because obviously what's done is done, when it comes to things like sexual past partners. What's done is done. You can't do anything about it. And this person may very much be changed and looking for love. They might not be looking to add another 80 something to their notches, but at that point, people just can't take them seriously. First impressions are everything. And when you're trying to get to know somebody, people can hang on to things. So basically what I'm saying is that people are going to judge you anyway. Why give them the ammo to judge you even more so. Speaking of ammo, I wouldn't let my besties know. I don't even think my best friends know my number. I don't divulge these things, but I don't ask them theirs either. You've heard of people falling out and then all of a sudden, like, somebody's best friend goes and tells the whole world their what they had going on in the past with like different partners, and then you look terrible. Like, so just don't put yourself in a position to be disrespected, to be talked about. Your number is your number, whatever the case may be, and you should be able to keep that to yourself. If you have somebody who just cannot get past the conversation without having to know, I guess the way that I would answer that question is, that's interesting. Why do you ask that? Or, that's interesting. Why do you need to know? Like, why do you need to know? To get them thinking exactly, like, what does it have to do with the person that is sitting in front of you today? Unless you have something that's like an STD and it's untreatable and you haven't gotten it treated, and, it's something that would be detrimental to a person's health, I think that information definitely should be divulged. But your number, like, if you're walking around and you're fine and you know that you're going to be serious about this relationship, I just don't see a reason to divulge it. If you're the type of person that goes on dates and just has to know this, please put down in the comments why this is important to you. If it's not a malicious reason, because as of now, like, I think that there's a malicious intent behind it. So, like, maybe I don't know, maybe there is an important reason why you just have to know. Put it down in the comments. Let's see what's up with that. Another thing that stuck out to me about this person's post is that they said they want to be honest and they want a relationship. Why do we feel like we have to tell our potential partner everything about us? Like, every little thing about us. I personally do not understand the notion, because who's to say that our partner feels that same way about honesty? And then also, just if it wouldn't hurt the relationship, like it's nothing that's happened within the relationship, I just don't see I don't see the importance of all the nitty-gritty details. Some things probably just need to be taken with us to our grave, if you know what I mean. Like, so long as it's not hurting the relationship as it is, just keep it to yourself. So to wrap it up, my advice to this gentleman, because this is a male, and we could get into the whole sexism of how women are mostly judged unfairly for this and whatnot, but it's a male thing too, because like I said, that contestant on that show, I was judging pretty bad. I was like, ew. So it can go both ways. So to this person, I would say, keep it to yourself. And if you must make up a number, who cares, right? So that's the advice that I have for him. If you guys have advice for this Reddit poster, go ahead and put them in the comments, or how you guys deal with questions like that. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Remember to subscribe.